Hello, welcome. Am I live? Is this the age of disclosure? Or is it just a dream? I don't know. We'll soon find out. But hello, everyone. How are you all? Just to see if I can hear my own voice. See what to do it. I've got to put these things on silent. Put phone on silent. Hello. What's happening now? Am I going a bit quiet? Am I audible? Hopefully I will be. Am I going a bit quiet? I can hear myself. Am I audible? That's a good sign. Anyway, you guys, you could probably hear me. Anyway, welcome all of you. Hello, everyone. Hello. I'll just say a big hello. We've got 11 people watching. A big hello to Art's channel. Have they landed yet? They landed millions of years ago, mate. A DJ says, DJ B2. Good that I watched The Age of Disclosure. I'm glad you did, yeah. DJ. Dan Farah has a man crush on Lou Elizondo. The WoW signal, 6EQUJ5. I'm an alien. I've always known it. Major General Colin Hunt. All right. Hello, 69 Phuket. How are you? Hello, welcome. And we've got David Splendid Isolation and Woody Black. Hello. And we have got InsureTech saying, my spliffs are fresh and a la carte. Oh, my goodness me. Are you channeling your inner Hugo Rune there, InsureTech? And Red Ibex. Hello. That's what I'm wondering, Red Ibex. Has Hugo decided to come back? And Over the Moon. Hello. I bet you are. Yes, I'm over the moon too. I was when I watched Age of Disclosure. It does sound like him, doesn't he? He talks about spliffs all the time. Anyway, guys, before we go anywhere else, of course, let's play our intro music while the crowds gather. So I will just put this on full screen, mute, and away we go.
Earth mysteries, monsters, conspiracies, government cover-ups. Earth mysteries, monster cryptids, cyber saucers, and black triangle up and woe. Black goo and Antarctica, lizard kings from the seventh star. Men in black and Queen Boudica upon woe. Black goo and Antarctica, Kepler's from the seventh star. Men in black and Queen Boudica upon woe. Welcome to the Harp and Woe Show. Once I was alone, I was petrified, thinking I could be abducted when the bins went out. And so I spent so many nights thinking about the gray that might be there. But I grew strong, and now I really couldn't care. Save me from the aliens, save me from the government, save me from the men in black who call. Save me from the skeptics, save me from the watchers. Justice must be done for Richard D. Hall. No more psyop whitewashes. No more left in fear. How long till closure comes, is it really getting near? Is it really getting near? Is it really getting near? Or are we always gonna wonder? Are we never gonna know? Is it just a way to control us created oh so many years ago? Save me from the sheeple, save me from the liars. Open up your eyes and see their false flag planned attacks. Save me from the grifters, save me from the spiteful mutant hacks. Our fear is their power, our obedience the same. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Speak truth to power, always be the keeper of the flame.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm glad you're all here. We have indeed 60 Food Cat here. DJ V2 over the moon. Says 2 people left already. Oh, there was 17 now, so it's going up a little bit. And we've got David Splendid. Oops, what's happening now? There's David Splendid Isolation. The tune ends abruptly as apparently the system ran out of usable memory. It's the system Orianon did when she composed it. It's now Orianon can't be here this evening, by the way. She can't make it, unfortunately. Ben to midnight. Oh, if you can keep me talking long enough. I have done. Like I did a 5-hour plus live stream the other day. Hello, Contact Times. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. You okay? How's things? And we have here, yeah. That's not her speaking. No, Hugo was on TV. Yes, I've got a link in my on my community page. So yeah, now Hugo's taking a little bit of a break, I'm afraid, in short text. So yeah, but anyway, welcome everyone. Can somebody explain to me what's going on, please? Says Contact Times. All right, well, Contact Times, we're doing a watch party. We've been doing a watch party now for the last couple of weeks, and it's a watch party with the film The Age of Disclosure. This thing behind me. See, and on these particular watch parties, what we do is I'll do an introduction, then we do a review. So I've done a review, which is on my channel. There's a link in the description box to my review, and then we have a discussion, a live stream. So if you can, if you've watched the film, it's useful. If you've watched the film, it's useful. And Over the Moon says, "Hello, good evening, and bollocks." Okay, so it's Roger Melly, the man on the telly, is here. Yes. So So first of all, could you put a Y in the chat if you've actually seen it? That's always useful to know, because I mean you don't have to have watched it, but there will be spoilers. We will be discussing the show in kind of detail of the film in detail, which involves spoilers. So just to let you know, so put a no. Woody hasn't seen it. Okay, no worries, mate. It's I do recommend seeing it. XYZ. Oh my god, you. Why? Yes, well done, Red Ibex. Well done, David Splendid Isolation. Why? Seen it so many times. I've watched it twice. Contact Time says that was coming. That was what's that? That was a surreal yet logical explanation. Oh, good. That's quite a nice combination of those two factors, I think. So Red Ibex has seen it. Who else has seen it? Hey, Contact Times. Nice to see you, mate. Hello. Now, things are moving so quickly in this realm of this subject. As I said to Steve, there's no going back now. There's going to be no stagnation now. And indeed, things did. And now Marco Rubio has done an interview on Fox News, which is very interesting indeed. This all happened after I recorded the interview, Steve, and I actually was editing and uploading the last video. That is the review section of this live stream of this 3-part watch party. So let's go and have a look and see what how do you get around copyright? I'm not showing it. No, the watch party doesn't involve me showing it. The watch party it's not like where you all get together and watch something. I mean, I do not show it. No, I do not show it. I say go away and I give the introduction. I say people go away and watch it. Then I do a review. Then we do discussion. We're not showing the film. No. What I'm going to show you though is a new spot by Marco Rubio. This is weird. Contact Times, you've seen it. Well done, Contact Times. Right. Now, what happened? What's happened is, even as I was uploading the last video, this news broke. Marco Rubio, of course, is the current Secretary of State and the National Security Advisor to President Trump. This is usually two people do this role. There's usually two separate roles. The Secretary of State is the equivalent of the UK Foreign Secretary. He represents the United States on the world stage. DJ Vito, we'll come to that because DJ Vito has made an assertion. Little Marco said that Farah edited him out of context. We'll see. So he's the Secretary of State, which is like the equivalent of the Foreign Secretary, who represents the US on the world stage. National Security Advisor is a separate role, usually performed by a different person. So they're usually two people, one doing each job. To combine the roles together, and that has only happened once before, Henry Kissinger, of all people, was both Secretary of State and National Security Advisor between 1973 and 1975. So this is very unusual as Rubio takes this role. And now I know as well as anyone else is going to say, and Rubio is going to say this, that this film was made over a period of about 3 years. It was like the production was a very long production. And Marco Rubio was in the Senate. He was back in the Senate when this was recorded. However, I believe at the time he knew that should Trump win the next election, he would be Secretary of State. He'd already been pitted for that role. And so when he did this interview, he knew exactly how this would look when the film broke. And Over the Moon says, a potential president will always say whatever he thinks people want to hear. Of course. Do you really think that Keir Starmer really recognizes the state of Palestine? Of course he doesn't. He doesn't give a damn about Palestine. Yeah, he has he doesn't give a damn about Palestine. He just wants votes from people who do. DJ Butu says, glad Kissinger's popped his clogs. Yeah, I mean, goodness me. Oh, my goodness me. I did this little meme a little while. I did this meme. Do you remember the 2016 club? You just reminded me of something funny. If I can find, I don't know if I could find the meme, but it just I was like frustrated about how it seems there was that song by Billy Joel, only the good die young, and I made a little meme about it because it seemed that over a period of about a year, loads and loads of people were dying in their 50s and 60s, and they tended to be good, admirable people, and then And then you get these eternal scumbags who just seem to go on forever. I don't think I'd find it now. It's a bit too. I don't think I'll find it now. But there's Henry Kissinger's, David Rockefeller's, Robert Mugabe, and a whole load of others. And I was thinking, oh dear me. And I remember thinking to myself, goodness me, how long is this going to go on for? Oh. And I put it, and I had on the left, I had people like all the people who died young, Keith Chegwin, Prince, Carrie Fisher, and on the right, I had like Henry Kissinger, David Rockefeller, and a few other people, and Robert Mugabe, and Prince Philip, and all these other people. And on the left, it said, just think how much longer we could have lived. All we needed to do was be evil. Here it is. I found it. Where is it? I found it now. Is it? Is this it? No, it's. I can't. Where's the actual meme? Oh, it just seems to have gone. Never mind. Let's get back on topic. And on the right, you had these people saying, well, we've tried to tell you. Right, this is interesting. Michael Shrimpton said he had a red phone that went directly to Henry Kissinger. Yeah, Michael Shrimpton also thinks the Germans invented UFOs and the Germans wiped out the dodo. You name a bad thing, the Germans did it. Oh, there's an Iron Maiden version of Only the Good Die Young, yeah. Contact Time says, I think Stephen Greer has a strong response to this film release. He does. Now, I recognise you now. Hello, David. How are you? I mean, it's great to see you. I think Greer's somewhat unfair, but he does make a couple of good points. Over the Moon says, I wonder if Michael Shrimpton and Kissinger were file sharing. I think it's quite likely that Kissinger might have... I don't know what I can say for legal reasons now. It's quite likely somebody sent Michael some files without him knowing, which he didn't really want. Shall we say that? Okay, so let's just go to Marco Rubio. There we go. Oh, it's already prompting me. That's good. I'll just show you what you can see. You can see what I'm looking at. There we go. Here it is. It's at the
over 5,000 that never showed the. I want to start this out with a question, because there are really serious issues involving national.
It's very quiet. Can you hear it? I've got the volume on full. Let's see if I put the volume up a bit. Speakers. Put them up. There we are. Go up a bit. There we go. There we are.
Security peace around the globe. Yeah. I mean, you're at the highest level of discussion.
I'll tell you what. Let me put on captions. Are there any captions? There we go.
Discussions. And we're going to get into a lot of the hot spots and success and all that. But I got to ask you, there's a show that's come out. It's called The Age of Disclosure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he laughs. Right. You know, she giggles a bit there. And I think that's kind of instinctive. I wouldn't read too much into that.
Okay. I know everyone probably, right? Everyone asks you about it.
No,
sure. It's a new documentary. We had repeated instances of something operating in the airspace over restricted nuclear facilities. It's not ours, and presidents operate on a need-to-know basis.
Yeah.
Okay, that is
so a couple.
So these subtitles are crap.
Points on it. First of all, I'm not disavowing that. It was an interview that was done almost like maybe 3 or 4 years.
He said he's not disavowing. Okay, that's interesting.
Ago when I was in the Senate, so it wasn't recent. The second point I would make, I was describing the.
They cut away there. Do you know? It says, look.
3 or 4 years ago when I was in the Senate. Right. So it wasn't recent. The second point I would make, I was
right. There's selective editing there. You noticed the immediate change in his tone indicating they cut something out there. This is not live. This is recording. Sean Hannity, and he sat down, but it wasn't live.
Describing the allegations that people have come forward with. People that came forward to us. You know, some of these people were Navy pilots, admirals, generals, whatever, that would come forward and say, that there were programs in the U.S. government that not even presidents were made aware of. So I was describing what people had said to me, not things that I have firsthand knowledge of in that regard. A little bit of selective editing, but it's okay because, you know, you're trying to sell a show there. But the fundamental comments.
See, he says a little bit of selective editing, but he doesn't disavow what he said. So he doesn't believe he's been misrepresented.
I haven't seen it, but the clips I've seen of
how do you know you're selectively edited if you haven't seen it?
People have shown me are fundamentally true, and that is
Well, they're fundamentally true.
Are things, we know this has been documented. There have been things that fly over the airspace, restricted airspace, be it where we're conducting military exercises or the like, and everyone in the government says they're not ours. And so what I worry most about, just me personally, is that some adversary, another country, for example, has developed some asymmetric capability for surveillance or the like that we just are not prepared for. You know, we're looking for.
It's not another country, is it? I mean, they always got to think that maybe it might be, but it's not. I mean, when you get these guys and corner them, they'll say we have no evidence that Russia or China are doing this.
For missiles and fighter jets, and they're coming at us with drones and balloons. Remember, you know, when NORAD turned on the radars and started looking for balloons, all of a sudden they spotted a bunch.
That's the Chinese balloon crisis. That's February 2023.
Of balloons flying overhead.
But there was Object Gate attached to that. No, we never were told what these things were. They never said they were balloons.
% of them were innocent, you know, things. A couple of them were Chinese, and so, but we never looked for balloons because our radars aren't trained for that. So that really was the point I was trying to drive at. I can't comment on the rest of the documentary. It has, as I said, claims from people that were former admirals, naval fighters, people with high clearances in government. Some of them are pretty spectacular claims. I'm not calling these people liars. I don't have independent knowledge that what they're saying is true. The one observation I had is we had people that did very important jobs in the US government who are saying these things. So we have people with very high jobs in the US government that are either A, liars, B, crazy, or C, telling the truth. And
Good point. Yeah, exactly. Well, Mick West thinks there's a third option. He says, well, maybe they're just wrong. That's the fourth option. No, crazy liars. No, they might not be crazy or liars, but maybe they're just wrong. Maybe they've just made a mistake. The thing about this, the problem is that it's not possible for so many people who are so well trained and educated to make that many mistakes that are that big. It's just not possible. This is where Mick West gets it wrong again.
Those three options are not good. But I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer. I don't have any point of, you know, I don't want to call them liars. I just don't have any independent way to verify everything they said.
I spent time, I've been talking to the mother of the National Guardsman that's in a hospital here in DC who's clinging to life. The issue of the vetting of Afghan nationals.
Okay, we've got a different subject now. So there you go. That was actually very interesting. That was very interesting indeed. Hello, Lioness Lives Matter. How are you? I'll try to go through as many of your comments as I can. And we've got Spanish Chicken. That's a good name. NORAD. Is that the guy that flew to Alaska when 9/11 was happening? Yep. Yes. I'll try to go through as many of your comments. I can't go through all your comments probably, but Spanish Chicken says, hey Ben, I watched the show, mainly never comment. Jason from Raconta's News chatted with you a few times. Cheers. He did before he sadly passed away. That's right. Well, thanks for joining us, Spanish Chicken. Contact Time says, best not to believe every character on Miles' many basis chit chats, to be honest, including Michael Shrimpton. I certainly don't. Rather like Kerry Cassidy, you know, he has a wide variety of people, some very, very convincing indeed, some very significant, and some very believable, including me. I've been on both their shows. Others just talk complete rubbish. They really, really do. Yeah. So that was a very interesting statement. Firstly, I was expecting when I heard this had happened, everyone was expecting him to say, that was a big mistake. I was misled. That guy Dan Farah, he tricked me. He sat me down in a room and then he completely misquoted me and edited me out of context. I'm very angry. I'm going to sue him. Honestly, talking about space aliens, what rubbish. I can't believe I was dragged into this. I'm a serious person. I've become the National Security Advisor. I've become the Secretary of State. I'm very, very angry about this. That's what I was expecting him to say. This is essentially what Kit Green said. And this is what Admiral Thomas Wilson said. Hello, Simon Tucker. Good evening. So, but he didn't say that, did he? He didn't say it. By the way, what I'll do right now, I've got another news story to come on to because there's been another drone incident. Here we go. I'll bring that up in a minute. But I need to go through your comments, which you left on the notice, which I've now deleted. And I had 3 comments on here. Firstly, we had Wow Signal, who said first, welcome. And then Steve Mumbling. Is he there? Is Steve Mumbling watching? What time would it be in Australia if he's here? He's not watching. Steve, if you're watching, please let us know. And Steve Mumling says, perhaps you could discuss the following. Why do all the people appearing in that video want everyone to believe aliens are coming here and crashing here, etc., when it clearly isn't true? Stratton has previously claimed he was infected with a hitchhiking poltergeist at Skinwalker Ranch. He tells us it followed him home and turned his house into a paranormal Disneyland. He claimed he had werewolves running around his back garden. He also claimed to have seen a creature that looked like the alien from the Predator movie at Skinwalker Ranch. Personally, I don't think Stratton is credible. Do you? Davis, Nell, Semi-Van Gallaudet have all said they have no personal experience with ET technology or biology. Excuse me. Gallaudet tells us his house is haunted and his daughter is a psychic. Elizondo has tried to peddle an image of a chandelier as an alien mothership. He tried to peddle an image of crop irrigation circles as a huge UFO. He tells us he has telekinetic and remote viewing ability and that he was the Darth Vader of Guantanamo Bay. Personally, I don't think Elizondo is credible. Not one of the 34 people appearing in the movie produced a scrap of tangible evidence to support their claims, not one of them. The truth is, there's nothing to any of this. It's all science fiction rubbish. Most of it comes from the TV series The X-Files. Crackpots do come in all shapes, sizes, professions, and military ranks. Me becoming the next pope is far more likely than Trump disclosing ETs are coming here, stroke crashing here, because they clearly aren't. I've been looking into this since the 70s. There really is nothing to it. Oh, really? Well, Steve Mumbling, Your Holiness. He is good. Pope Stephen the Fifth, or whatever you are. First Australian Pope. Of course, I'll discuss this following, right? Firstly, it is true. It is true indeed. Now, what Jay Stratton has said, Jay Stratton was involved in the Skinwalker Ranch research project. That is what ATIP was really set up for. And what he's described has actually been described by other people. And I'm inclined to believe him because this is sometimes, well, this has very different names. Hitchhiking is one name for it, the hitchhiker effect. Jonathan Downes, incidentally, who specializes as a cryptozoologist, he calls it the psychic backlash. It has other names, but when you start looking into this, it does seem to have some kind of effect on you and your life. And indeed, this actually happened when the Hexham heads were dug up. The Hexham heads, I actually went to Hexham, if you remember. Let me just get right. See, I've got a book about the Hexham heads. The Hexham heads. Oh, there's a film about it. That's interesting. Now, these were two small stone heads. They were really very small, only about 6 meters high, below, smaller than life size. And they were found in 1971 in Hexham, Northumberland. And now, no one knows exactly what they are, where they came from. They are similar to other artifacts that have been found in this country that date back about 2,000 years. That is to the Iron Age and Roman period. And now the heads were given, they gave these heads to Dr. Anne Ross, who's an expert on Celtic artifacts. And she says that then she said that in the religion of this country in those days, that is the Druids and things like that, the heads, stone heads were actually used as venerated, a symbol of divinity and the power of the other world, the seat of the soul, etc. Now, what happened was she herself encountered a werewolf-like figure in her home. And she's a serious scientist. She's like an archaeologist. So what Jay Stratton has described here is not unusual. This happened to other people. There are other examples of this. Jonathan Downes gives his own example of this. I do think Stratton is credible. Now, Eric Davis, of course, he's the guy behind the Wilson memo, as you know. Carl Nell, who said he's 100% sure aliens exist. Jim Semivan, Tim Gallaudet, they all have come forward. Like Tim Gallaudet was a top meteorologist and oceanographer for the U.S. Navy. And I'm inclined to believe him. I do believe in hauntings and psychics, so why shouldn't he be telling the truth? Now, this is interesting because you say Elizondo trying to peddle an image of a chandelier and an irrigation circle. Now, yes, This is where it gets a bit sinister. Now, Elizondo, interestingly, Elizondo has just done an interview with James Fox at his bar. He's got a bar called the Bombshell Bar. I'd love to go there, have a beer with Elizondo at his bar. And he essentially says, "Look, I made him." He confesses. He said he owns he made a mistake, and he confesses. Now, a lot of people have said, "Well, it's just too. He wouldn't make a silly mistake like that deliberately, by accident." Now, this is where it gets a bit worrying because Ron James, if you remember, do you remember Contacting the Desert, my Ben in the Desert 2 video? Ron James mentions this, and I talk about this in that video, and he believes that Elizondo does this on purpose, and this has led to accusations of him being a shill. I mean, he's the person most likely to be called a shill, and indeed Greer is now obsessed with Elizondo and supposedly exposing him. As I said in the review section. But Ron James has another idea about Elizondo. He believes that Elizondo is the pacemaker. Now, what I mean by that is that's a term that I use, not him. But this is actually a procedure. This is actually a schedule. There's actually a schedule on the release of this information. So it's all very controlled. They bring this thing out in January, then they bring out this document in February, then there's this photo released in March, etc. It has to go according to this schedule to prevent ontological shock. And it's a way of staving off catastrophic disclosure. Now, what Elizondo's role in this process is that if the pace gets too fast, he has to slow it down. He's the brake man who pulls the lever on the brakes on the train. That's what Ron James was saying. And Ron, he gave he brought a lot of very, very interesting insight to bear on this, and I'm inclined to believe him. So when Elizondo makes these mistakes, these so-called mistakes, they're not mistakes. This is him basically pouring oil on troubled waters and trying to calm things down if they're getting too turbulent. Now, I don't think that's a good idea. Just think how badly and easily that could backfire. And indeed, it has in a way, because people, this just discredits him, unfortunately. And I think it's a bad tactic to use. Again, he says he saw this orb in his house. I'm not inclined to disbelieve him. I've heard of other such things. He's into the psionic stuff too. The Darth Vader of Guantanamo Bay. Now, this is where he was at Guantanamo Bay, and he was an intelligence expert. So it's likely he was involved in things like waterboarding, which of course is morally dubious, as you know. Is that a reason to completely discredit him now? I don't know. And then you say none of them produce a scrap of tangible evidence to support the claims. Not one of them. Steve, I share your frustration in this, and there's nothing I'd like better for them to wheel in just wheel in a flying saucer on a forklift truck. There's nothing I'd like better to that. This is what happens in my book, Roswell Rising: A Novel of Disclosure, available all good book. Can everyone see that? Let me just check. If I'm going to do a shameless plug, I better make sure it works. Roswell Rising: A Novel of Disclosure, available all good bookshops now, priced £10. If you're going to Base's project next weekend, I'll be selling them on my stall, and you can get a signed copy of 69 Phuket. Hexam Heads, great band, yeah, yes. Davis Blended Isolation. Mumbling will have steaming piles of humble pie to scarf his way through soon enough. He will quit YouTube rather than do that. He really will. He really will. So there is something to this. It's not just from the X-Files. It really is not. You say crackpots come in all shapes and sizes and professions, etc. Well, you've got to ask yourself. Mick West says, well, maybe they're just wrong. How could so many people be so wrong so often? And even though they haven't yet produced the decisive evidence, this doesn't mean they won't. And I'm afraid I've just got to ask you to be patient. Ross Coulthard put it very bluntly. This process is not here for your entertainment or mine. It's not here to titillate UFO Twitter. It's a serious business that has to go at its own pace. And there's things going on behind the scenes, and Elizondo may well be playing a role in that. And Woody Black says underneath to him here, okay, well, how do you explain this? My friend was abducted by aliens. They took him aboard their spaceship and stuck a pipe up his bum. They brought him home and gave him a number to call if he wanted to go again. He called it next night and it was an invalid number. Damn aliens! Honestly, if they're going to start S&M parties, they should at least want you to come back. Well, Steve didn't get a chance to reply to that anyway, but anyway, over the moon. Please add some bass to the audio. I'm not sure I can do that. Sorry about that. Anyway, who else here? Oh, Ren. Hello, Ren is here. I'm just welcoming the new people. Simon Tucker, good evening. Okay, so there's something else that's happened here. There's been a drone incident at a submarine base in France. Here we go. Nuclear submarine base incursion prompts French military response. Yeah, this is I actually made a little meme of this. Where is it? Okay, here we go. This is the one of these submarines here. This is a nuclear. This is nuclear missile launching submarine. So SSBN nuclear missile submarine launching, and there's 4 of these. It's rather like the Trident subs, and they're at the Ile Long. No, go away. They're at the Ile Long submarine base in Brittany, and it's and they actually did shoot down a. They just shoot down a drones. It's not. They're not. It says here that the Marines used a jammer, not a firearm. Before they weren't actually saying why or how it happened. Or how it happened. But now what caused this? Where did this drone come from? And who is it? Who's running it? And of course, Russia are going to be blamed for this. Just like they were, as I've explained on previous videos, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the facts of it doesn't fit the facts that you see with Denmark. I mean, Denmark, they were saying that these are all drones. It doesn't fit. For reasons I've explained. There's no way they could all be drones. None of them have been captured or shot down. This one maybe. This one actually may be a drone. Maybe a drone. Hello, Skywatch Signal. Welcome, UAP Watchers. I like that, mate. I like that. That's a good name. How do you do? David says, would you ever shill for the king? Oh, well, I kind of did when I was in the NHS, didn't I? All right. So that's that, Ben. Oh, hello, Shauna. Welcome, Shauna. How do you do? Okay, so what's next? Now, it's funny, though, that the people say that this drone crisis that's going on is sometimes focused around nuclear sites. For example, the drones in Denmark and Germany have been focused on nuclear power stations. There have been a lot of them around nuclear power stations. Now, this is interesting, isn't it? Because do you remember my little UFO photo? If I can find it. I did a video about this a while ago, right? Because I've taken a UFO photo myself. And, I don't know. Here it is. Right, there's a few versions of this. Okay. Now this is the film. Okay, so here we go. This is the photo I took. We don't need to go through the video. This is the photograph I took in 1998 when I was hiking in Scotland. Now this is the Gairloch, and that in the distance you can just see there is a nuclear base. It's actually a nuclear submarine base called HMS Neptune. It's also called the Faslane facility, which is very similar to the one in France, which has just had its drone invasion. That there, look there, that there, I didn't see at the time. I was using one of those old Polaroid fun cameras, the type you throw away before digitals became popular. And that there, I didn't see anything strange at the time, but then when I got it home and I developed the photos, I saw it, and this is it. Zoomed in. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the negative, but you can see it's kind of like it kind of like has a black bit in the middle, and there's some brown, there's some grey around it. I don't know what it is. Unfortunately, I say I lost the negatives, which is a shame. But this print, you can see some kind of structure here, possibly a disc. Possibly, it's like there's 2 protuberances at the top, like it's a kind of disc-shaped object. Right, is that it? Yeah, that's it. I thought I'd lost it, but it's gone. Oh, it's not the Calvine UFO. No. Now the Calvine UFO that was something I took myself in 1998. The Calvine UFO was taken in a different part of Scotland, in the Cairngorm area, in 1990. But there was a large amount of UFO. In fact, in terms of, if you take into account the size and population of Scotland, it has more UFO incidents than any other country on Earth. Over them. Did Polaroid fun cameras have negatives? They did, yes. When I got it back from the chemist, it came with prints and the negatives in a little folder. I can't find the negatives. I thought I'd lost the print. I was kicking myself because I thought, years later, I thought, and I started Panwell, I thought, I've got to find that photo. Where is it? And eventually it did turn up. I did find it. I had it in my bedroom all the time. DJ B2 says here, the Middle Eastern invaders are scouting potential sites to disrupt. I think they're coming from somewhere a little bit more, a little bit more exotic than the Middle East. Instamatic, I think that's what they were called, yeah. Oh, we've got some romance going there. Shauna and Skywatch Signal are having a flirting. That's lovely. That's really, really charming. Hello, Snarnock, welcome. Okay, so that's the next thing. So we've had this drone in this drone. I feel like I did a Dr. Evil meme earlier. Where Dr. Evil is doing the finger quotes. Drones. Because Christian Lander posted this on Facebook, and I put that as a reply to him. Yeah. Oh, this is so everyone's getting really romantic here. Oh, that's lovely. Oh man, that's great. I'm really pleased for you. We might have our first Panwell wedding. You never know. So, Shauna for Skywatch Signal. Shauna for Skywatch Signal. Yeah. All right. So, what's next? Yeah, there's one more thing, right? That's the kind of big update is Rubio. Oh, James Fox. Lou Elizondo's interviewed James Fox. Now, I've not actually seen this, but I know Vetted has covered it. Patrick from Vetted has covered it. I had a bit of a run-in with Patrick. Well, it wasn't a run-in. I haven't actually confronted him, but he made a video about Bart Sobral, which I thought was unfair. You see this one here. He has a bit of a go at Bart. Bart Sobral, you'll know from the Apollo Detectives. He has done an interview. See, this is Bart here. This is the video. This is what a fraud looks like. One of the craziest videos I've ever made. And it's basically, I won't go into it in detail because it's all part of a different subject. But you may know that Bart Sobral was on the Danny Jones podcast the other day, debating an Apollo astronaut, Charlie Duke. And what happened was Patrick actually criticised him, and he did actually raise a point about how a mistake that Bart made, because Bart actually did make some mistakes. Just a couple. It's a 4-hour interview. Bart gets an awful lot right as well. But Patrick was actually calling him a fraud and calling him a grifter and all kinds of things like that, which I thought was unfair. And if you want to know more about that, I've covered it in this article here. David Splendor's Isolation knows about this because we've been talking about it. But I've written an article here, Bart Sobral versus Charlie Duke. You can go and read that if you want. Okay. But Patrick has now done this. He's made this video here. Bombshell admit he likes the word bomb.
Interesting.
He loves the word bombshell. Does Patrick? You were saying things are bombshells.
Build a business in the service industry.
I'm not going to show all of this, but basically, this is Lou and James Fox having an informal discussion in Lou's bar, which is called Bombshell, and they're having a chat here. And Lou brings up the subject. He says at one point that he hints that he has more knowledge than he said previously, because he previously said that he'd only heard secondhand. He was like an investigator that was dealing with people like David Grush. He'd heard a lot of secondhand material, and this was the first time he'd heard anything serious, that he'd actually had some serious information himself. And then he also says, look, sometimes I make mistakes and I apologize when I do. I've already covered that. And Steve Mumbling actually mentioned that in his own comments. So correctly, he makes this interesting point. Why did he put up a chandelier and an irrigation circle and say there were aliens? Was it just an error? I don't think it was an error. But I've already explained why. I think Ron James is right. Lou he's the dampening rods. And you use whatever metaphor you like. His job is to stop things running away too quickly, and injecting some disinformation and fake stories actually serves. It serves as a kind of like all these metaphors. It slows things down. It makes the whole process more viscous and less fluid, which is intentional. It's absolutely intentional. Right. Right. I'm just going to go through some of your. Let me just go through some of these things. I probably can't address every single comment because you're leaving so many, and I apologize for any comments I don't meet. Contact Sissy. Here's the quote. Read what you pointed out a few minutes ago, Ben. As Truman's Secretary of Defense, James Forrestal, if there were no conspiracy, once in a while they'd make a mistake in our favor. Exactly, yes. I mean, Morgoth's reviews made this point. But all the mistakes they made are wrong. So it is deliberate. It's not in error. That's quite right, Contact Times, yeah. Snarnock says, did you see PDB's interview with Dr. Judy Wood? No, I saw one. Andrew Johnson has published one, which is with him, Judy, and a couple of other people. Is that the one you mean? Over the Moon says, Bart Sibrel made himself the most hated man on earth in that podcast. Bart has always quite relished his infamy. He does. I mean, he's famous for being the most belligerent person in this entire community. Definitely. Skywatch Signal says Bart's a fraud. I don't think he's a fraud. I think he makes mistakes. I mean, I've obviously, as you know, I've collaborated with him a few times. He doesn't get everything right, but he does like to stir up controversy. He likes to be the controversial figure, definitely. Contact Times. It was the Danny Jones podcast. Right, where are we now? David says, all these Pentagon wafflers are diversionary, out-of-date Borgs. Well, I don't think they all are, David. I mean, do you really not believe, do you think this is all a big psyop? Because if you do, I'd be interested to hear why you think that. Because I want us to have a discussion on this matter. I really do, because... Hello, Michael Snow. How do you do? How do you do? Bart Simpson. Yes, we need characters like Bart. All right, guys. Okay, right. There was something else in my notes here. Yes, Steven Spielberg. Apparently, the trailer for his new movie is coming out. First, no. Let me just do one thing first. I was going to look up a bit more about Bart Simpson. Not Bart Simpson. Not Bart Sibrel. Lou Elizondo. I'll ask, does Lou Elizondo run a bar? I think he does, doesn't he? AI searching. Yes, Louis Elizondo has opened a World War II themed cocktail lounge called Bombshells American Cantina in Buffalo, Wyoming in mid-2025. Inspired by his military experiences. He's also associated with the live streams about his bar and grill. All right. Bombshell, it's got vintage World War II officers club. That explains why he's got in the background. He's got these planes, these World War II aircraft. Look. You see, this is clearly London, and these are Spitfires and Messerschmitts and things engaged in a dogfight. You know. Snarnock says, "Oh, I saw that as well, Ben. Tim West and Dr. Mike Eden, Andrew Johnson, Dr. Judy Wood. Yes, is that the one you mean, or do you mean a different one, Snarnock?" This is interesting. David says Spielberg never truly let it go. It's been brewing in the back of his mind through the decades. I don't think so, David. And the reason I don't think so is because I've got the special edition 20th anniversary DVD. Where is it? It's somewhere in my pile. It's the 20th anniversary special edition DVD collector's edition of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which of course is one of the most principal UFO movies ever made. Now, in that document, because it's a special edition, it has like a bonus disc with lots of interviews in, and one of them has an interview with Spielberg himself, recorded in 1997. Right, so it's 1997, not 1998, and he says that he couldn't make Close. He says, I couldn't make Close Encounters today because I've lost my interest in UFOs. That's what he said. All right, Snarnock has corrected me. It's a P-40 aircraft never used over London during the war. Fair enough, but it's got to appeal to the Americans, Snarnock, so they got to dabble with history a bit. But no, Spielberg said, I couldn't make Close Encounters today because I've lost my interest in UFOs, not interested in them anymore. Right? Well, something clearly has rekindled his interest, hasn't it? There's no doubt about it, because he has made this film. Now, what's really weird is this is a film that's, as I said to Steve, it's a film that's been made backwards. Most films start off when a director or writer gets an idea for a movie, they pitch it to a producer, and they get a company, they get a studio and things like that. This is all done privately, and no one knows anything about it. There's no publicity. And then they go into production, and there's like they do the writing, they do the production design, then they get the actors, they cast the actors, and then they film it. And there's the editing, post-production, etc. And then literally, maybe just a couple of months before the premiere, that's when the publicity starts. That's when you start getting news reports. That's when they start doing limited screenings for the critics, so that they can write their reviews and have them ready to hit the press the moment the film goes on to general release. That's what happens. Now, this hasn't happened. No, Spielberg has done this exactly the opposite way around. The moment he got the idea for the film, he said, I'm going to make a movie about UFOs, and its release date is in August 2026. This is before a single frame had turned over. And then, while everything was all through the pre-production, there was a lot of publicity, people talking about it, interviews. The casting was actually revealed. It was said who was going to be in it. And then they invited the reporters to come along and take photographs while they were doing like the location shooting. It's almost like Spielberg said, no, we can't wait. We've got to start publicizing this now. Why? Why is that? Has somebody had a word in Spielberg's ear and said, like, hey, Stephen, you know, this is what you need to do, mate. Because I tell you what, everything's going to blow up pretty soon, and you want to be able to ride that wave. When the wave hits, you want to You want to get your surfboard up on there. That's what I'm wondering, because apparently the trailer is going to be shown. Right. I'll ask, is the trailer for Steven Spielberg's new movie going to be shown soon? Because, right, this is interesting, right? Yes, here we go. The trailer for Steven Spielberg's new UFO movie is expected to debut very soon, likely attached to James Cameron's Avatar: Fire and Ash, starting December the 19th. Oh my God! You know what I'm going to say, don't you? You know what I'm going to say. You know that I'm going to say I'm going to go and watch that movie just to see the trailer, don't you? You know, God, you know I'm going to do that, don't you? You know I'm going to wear my UFO T-shirt and I'm going to go along there just to watch the damn trailer. I don't particularly want to watch the new Avatar film. The second one was crap, but I want to see that trailer, man. I want to see it. David says here, Spielberg has made many UFO alien-themed film series. So how did he ever lose interest, even though he claimed to have? Well, the War of the Worlds is not. I don't think you can call War of the Worlds like a UFO movie, so to speak. It's an alien invasion film. It's actually the original alien invasion story. There's a new one that's just come out, actually, and I watched it. It's got Ice Cube in it, the rapper. Quite interesting. That is. My nose itches when I'm speaking a lot. So it turns out, yes, and we'll find out then what the bloody film's going to be called, because so far we know it's had two working titles, The Dish and Disclosure, but we don't actually know what this film is going to be called. It's a as yet unnamed movie. Here we go. Steven Spielberg wraps his new sci-fi film. Oh, I'll show you this. Let me show you this little video here. Let me show it to you. This is exciting, man. Come in. Let me just come on in.
Filming. Cannot wait to hear more.
Oh, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast of The Weekly with me, Neff. Please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a couple of friends and colleagues. Helps out a lot, and I definitely appreciate your subscription. Let's talk a little bit about this new Steven Spielberg film, an epic sci-fi that he's been working on. It looks like it has wrapped up on filming. Cannot wait to hear more.
Yeah, this is 23rd of June. Yeah, I actually wrote a little article explaining this here. You can find, I've got the details here. This video is a bit old, but we'll go through it anyway. Here we are. Spielberg wraps. This untitled film by Steven Spielberg and David Cope has completed production. This was back in June. There's two working titles, The Dish and Disclosure. We don't know what it is actually going to be called. Stars Emily Blunt and Colin Firth. We know that. We just know those two actors, that actress and that actor are going to be into it. And I talk a little bit more about it here. But anyway, let's go back to that video.
More about this, but let's read into what we have for now. Steven Spielberg and screenwriter David Koepp are back at it again. The longtime collaborators, whose history includes Jurassic Park having quietly wrapped production on their latest project, a currently untitled sci-fi film that's already stirring up curiosity despite the tight lid being kept on the plot details.
Curiosity is not the word. We want to know more. I don't know what it's called, but we'll find out when we see the trailer.
Recently spoke to Deadline while promoting Jurassic World Rebirth, where he offered a few breadcrumbs about the new Spielberg film, emphasis on few. When asked if the movie has a title, Koepp replied, "Not that we're talking about it, not that we've released. However, there have been two potential titles circulating, The Dish and Disclosure." According to Koepp, filming wrapped roughly 3 weeks ago, and the movie is set to hit theaters on June 12, 2026.
Oh, it's June 12th,
As
right.
for those,
not August. That's good. Sooner.
Was President UFO rumors, Koepp dodged the question, instead teasing what Spielberg does so brilliantly is combine grand spectacle with real emotional truth. It's a very emotional experience, this film. Interestingly, Koepp revealed the idea came straight from Spielberg himself, who apparently wrote a 50-page treatment before handing it off to Koepp for full scripting. He was as involved as I've ever seen him on any movie I've written for him to direct, Koepp noted. The cast is stacked.
That's Spielberg there. He's young and he's doing Close Encounters, I think. That's really it. There he is.
Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, Eve Hewson, and Coleman Domingo and Wyatt Russell are all on board, but naturally there's zero info on who's playing what character. John Zeus Kaminsky is the DP. No word yet on whether Spielberg regular John Williams will be composing that score.
Oh,
which would be an amazing pick.
You've got to have like something really grand, just like the Close Encounters theme, man. That'd be great.
O'Connor recently compared the film to old school Spielberg, name-checking E.T. and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Spielberg's last film was 2022's Fableman, the most personal statement of his career, which garnered positive reviews and a Toronto Audience Award to boot. This came after another critically acclaimed film, 2021's West Side Story, which itself was a 7-time Oscar nominee. And ladies and gents, that pretty much wraps up the news on this new sci-fi from Spielberg. Apparently this film's supposed to release next summer, which is very interesting. And I've been saying for over 8 years now, I want Spielberg to really lock in for one more sci-fi epic and put his foot in it. And I think this could be the film that he does it with. So that is awesome to hear. Finally, Spielberg has come back around to where he's comfortable, the sci-fi aesthetic and sci-fi film genre. Although he's pretty much capable of shooting anything he needs to. But ladies and gents, let me know what you think about this news down in the comments. It's been something that's been under the radar, but I've heard about it. I think I talked about this film before a few months back, but it seems more details are now starting to appear.
Again, that's a location shoot. See?
We will definitely keep our eyes on what's to come for this sci-fi film from Steven Spielberg and David Koepp. Ladies and gents, comment down below what you think.
Yeah, so what do you reckon? I mean, yeah. Skywatch says MJ12 reveals Spielberg was in. You mean like? Well, you know that there's this idea that Close Encounters was actually based on reality. Do you know that idea that he actually was interviewed by someone who knew Ronald Reagan, and there was this, and Ronald Reagan says, "You don't know how real this film is." David says, "You notice how the ETs from ET are injected into Star Wars as an Easter egg?" Yeah, they appear in the Senate, don't they? Yeah, that's quite cool. Yeah. Oh, we have. Oh, right. McKeegan got hold of the film. Oh, right. Okay, so all right, that's the channel you told me about, didn't you, David? Yeah. Okay, so what's next? I think that's it. David says Spielberg's War of the Worlds is generally panned, but I actually quite like it as a version. I didn't think much of it. I thought Tom Cruise was wrong for that, and it didn't quite. I didn't particularly like that one, I'm afraid, David. The new one's actually not bad because it involves things like Big Brother and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like a Big Brother. The actually opening scene is the most interesting because the main character, Ice Cube's character, he works for the NSA and he can like use his CCTV cameras to spy on his family. All right, guys. So I think that's it. I mean, I hope this won't be too short a live stream, but that is all my notes done. So, does anyone else have anything you want to say about? I'm going to go through some of your old comments. I'll scroll up for your comments and I'll take your new ones. Contact says, contactees' experiences over the years have had more to contribute to disclose than the pentagram. Sorry, Pentagon. Yeah, and the pentagram, of course, is what you get if you extend the lines around it. That's true. That's true, David. Yeah, absolutely. Generally speaking, I think in a sense that people who have personal contact with aliens essentially don't need disclosure, do they? I'm just going to go through these things. I don't want to miss any of your comments. I try not to miss your comments, but just let us know if you've got anything more to say about this particular film. Let me know, or any other subject you want me to bring up. What's that interview with Dr. Judy Woods, Nana? Could you send me more details? My nose is itching again. It always does. Okay, I think that's all of it. 59 Phuket. Get my towel ready for Hitchhiking the Galaxy. Yes, indeed. You got to know where your towel is, don't you? All right, where are we going here? What else does people have to say? David says it might not be aliens from other planets. They could be entities here or transdimensional. I think they may be more than one thing. I think they may be several different phenomena that we sort of like generically categorize together. Now, on the subject of Stephen Greer, I mean, someone's mentioned Greer. I think who mentioned Greer? Oh, David's contact time says, I think Stephen Greer has a strong response to this film's release. I know that he's been very scathing about the whole thing, but here we go. Where are we now? The Thing from the early 80s is still my favorite UFO movie. Yeah, that is, I suppose, a science fiction horror based on alien landing. That was bloody good. Very good. I wasn't going to watch the new one because I thought it was a remake, but it turns out it's a prequel, so I watched it. It's not bad. Oh, come on, Ben. What about the fake comment thing? Oh my God, Phuket, do you want to go to Three Eye Atlas now? Three Eye Atlas. I could go on for another hour about this. I've seen the Ice Cube version. It's all done from the perspective of a desktop computer. Very cool. Yeah, he's an NSA spy. Yeah. He was shown bodies. Look at the Nazca mummy, CE3. Uri Geller claims to have seen bodies the other day. Did you see Uri Geller talking about how he and his brother were shown bodies by Werner von Braun? Did you see that? Oh. InsureTech says, did you see Donald Trump dancing with the village people at the Trump World Cup? Yeah. He's done several performances with them. Do you remember like the pre-inauguration rally? He did that too. Snarnock says it would be interesting to know what the real aliens think of Project Bluebeam, or if they showed up at the same time. Now that would be a turn up for the books, wouldn't it? Yeah. Oh, David says the nose is clearly linked to the CNS, highly sensitive. Looking at a bright light when you feel a bit like sneezing will encourage the sneeze to come. Well, I tend to get it when I'm talking a lot, like now with talking a lot. It tends the vibration, I think, tends to make my nose itch. Greer over medicated himself with steroids. I know but I'm an incredibly big fit man. Yes, I'm your messiah. Dr. Judy Wood was interviewed by PDB on Vetted. Oh, is it Vetted? Right. Yeah. Oh, Phuket, Three Eye Atlas. All right, I'll do a bit about Three Eye Atlas in a minute. I will. We'll talk about Three Eye Atlas. But first of all, I didn't know it was vetted. Did it? I mean, where is it? I'm looking. Oh, it's my history now. Why have I got a history? Okay. Okay, so Patrick when vetted. Okay, we go. So where is this then, Snarnock? I'll put in here Judy. Hang on, Judy. No, there's nothing in here about Judy Wood, about Dr. Judy Wood or anyone like that. Sorry, guys. Let's just have a look. Dr. Judy Wood, 9/11 free energy, empirical evidence. Dr. Breakthrough Energy Movement. Could you be more precise, please, Snarnock? Because I don't know which one you mean. Okay, let me just... Contact Time says, I think Greer's point, Ben, is that they project authentic ET craft in one limited way. But as one example, we know these layers are using ARV, extraterrestrial technology, terrestrial technology for current dodgy stuff. Well, the thing is, in a way, that is a valid concern. He could be right. I mean, I don't personally think that if he's right, it means the entire new ufology of 2017, post 2017, is a kind of prelude to the last card, as Carol Rosin called it. And I don't think that's true. It's too elaborate. It's too deep. It's the people involved. I mean, but at the same time, I know Steve Bassett won't even talk about this because he thinks it's so nonsensical, and also Danny Sheehan rejects it. But the possibility of the fake alien invasion as being deliberately staged to institute a global state of emergency to save the planet from the aliens. Yeah. Oh, InsureTech says live stream on the 19th. Absolutely, because it's... Yeah, can we talk about 3i Atlas then? Because, of course, that's Perigee Day, isn't it? So, yeah, well, should we do 3i Atlas then? Because I'll have a lot to say about 3i Atlas. David says, a lad in Australia has done a new mini documentary on Westall, published on YouTube last week. Really good. Featured the original witnesses still alive. Oh, is that... What's his name? Is that... What's his damn name? The guy who interviewed James from The Pipe. What's his name? You remember James's Pipe? But he's got a really good channel. Oh, what's his damn name? I can't remember his bloody name. Help me out, somebody. What's the name? What's the name of that Australian guy who does he's got a really good YouTube channel. Oh, it's called Project Unknown Field Files. Is that the name of it, David? All right, I've not seen that. But there's this Australian guy who has a really, really good YouTube channel. and he had an interview with James. Oh, I should show you Christina Gomez. I want to show you. I mean, I'm sure she won't mind. I could show you Christina Gomez's new outro because it's brilliant. Have you seen? Are you familiar with it? I hate it when I can't think of things. When I can't think of something. Oh, I give up. Christina Gomez has a new outro for her channel. If you don't know, Christina Gomez is really cool. She's really, really cool. The blue beam stuff is a different issue, probably different layers of the U2 terrestrial elite, UFO terrestrial elite. I think it is feasible though, David, that they would do that. Contact times. It's feasible that they would, if they were up against the wall and they were in a double or quit situation, they would try it. They would do it. I know that a lot of people in the UFO community don't agree with me. Steve Bassett doesn't. Danny Sheehan rejects this completely. I think that the idea of a possible fake alien invasion is something we need to be on our guard against. At the same time, though, I think we need to tread a very narrow path between excessive cynicism and excessive naivety, because if this is a genuine push for willing disclosure, and it's not just like something fake to wind us up for the last card, that is an opportunity we can't afford to miss. Hachi says we need Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker to help us out for the dark forces. Oh God, if only they were real. Yeah. But yeah, there was let's just have a look at Christina Gomez's new outro. It's really cool. She's really. I mean, she's so young, but she's like really, really wise. Oh, this is it. You can see a bit of it here. She's really wise. I mean, if I was her dad, I'd be really proud of her. I really would. Here we go. Okay, we won't watch all of them. Just watch the outro.
Marco Rubio has been saying for years that people in high positions
this is really
cool. Be a very slow drip of information. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm Christina Gomez, and that is it for today. I will see you again tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST for another UFO news update. Be safe, and remember, keep your eyes on the skies.
That's her old intro there. Goes back to her old intro. That's her original one. Isn't that good? Isn't that great? She's a very, very talented, very intelligent young lady, and she's very committed. She really absolutely, totally and utterly takes. She took apart the bloody backslappers. Let me just find. I wrote a little review of what she did. Here we go. All right. Okay, I'm not going to go into details here, but look, this is my review of her review, because I wrote this article here in 2022. This is Lou, based on an article. It's basically a review of what she wrote on her Strange Paradigms blog, if it's still there. This is good. Who is Lou? No, who are you? Now, if you read this, I won't read it now, but if you read it, she totally takes apart the backslappers. She really takes them to task. Okay. Right, Peter Maxwell, is that him? Peter Maxwell Slattery. Yeah. Is that him? No, that's not him. But this is someone I do sub to. But yeah, this is quite a good guy. Yeah, this is him. This is not the guy I'm talking of, but this is one of them. Yeah, this is someone like them. It's not him. Thanks for trying there, Snarnock, but it's not him. No. David says the truth will always out eventually. Even Christ said this. There's nothing here that will not be revealed. I agree with that. The truth has a real habit. It has a power of its own. David, have you ever played MASH with your plate to sculpt the Devil's Tower? No. I did it once for a joke, just to wind somebody up once. I pretended to be like the Roy Neary character in the film. DJ BJ, how does a backslapper slap their back with no arms? Do some backslappers have no arms? If so, I feel sorry for them they don't have arms, but they must get someone else to slap their backs for them. All right, yes, Phuket. We should stop playing with our food. Yes, if his mum had been there, she said, "Roy, stop that." Anyway, guys, anything else you want to bring up? Because I think that's kind of it, really, isn't it? Is there anything else you want to mention? I think that's it. DJ B2 says, "Medic." Oh, you've been watching Starship Troopers. So yeah, I want to thank everyone for taking part in this watch party. This is the Age of Disclosure watch party. We've completed it now. We've done the introduction, the review, and now we've done the live stream. I'm sure there will be updates on this. There'll be more to say about this subject, and there'll be other productions. What's coming up? Well, as someone mentioned, will there? Oh, right, Snarnock. See my comment above regarding Dr. Judy Wood. Okay, let's have a look. Phuket, where was it? Snarnock, sorry, Snarnock. Was it Peter Maxwell Slattery? Is that the one? Did he interview Dr. Judy Wood? Has he interviewed Dr. Judy Wood? Maybe that's him. I'll have to check it out. Well, he's got videos with Ross Coulthard. Someone here says undisclosed. Is that the channel? Is that him? Undisclosed. No, what's his bloody name? Hang on. Oh, it's driving me nuts. He's not. He's a. He's got a damn bloody. James has just quit. Actually, he's now finished his. He's decided to leave. Or he's paused his. He's paused his channel for a while. But he did an interview. This guy interviewed him. This Australian guy. Not Casper. That's Casper Site's been doing it. Area 52. Oh man, he really caused a bit of a stir, didn't he? While he was around. Anyway, Snarnock, what's your sorry, Snarnock? See your comment above regarding Dr. Judy Wood. I can't see it, Snarnock. Where was it? Oh, here we go. Right. Dr. Wood was interviewed by PDB on Vetted. The interview did not go well. Well, the interview's gone now. I can't find it on his channel, if that's the one you mean. Is that the one you mean, Snarnock? No, Ben, stay off the fucking powder, will you? Do I look like Vladimir Zelensky? Oh, dear. My nose itches. My nose itches. When I'm talking, my nose itches a lot. Yeah, so I end up going like that. Anyway, guys, yeah, it's an interesting movie. Good film. Like I said before, not original, quite cliche in many ways, quite unoriginal in many ways in terms of its style, in terms of its content. But it has that potential. It has that potential to reach audiences other movies wouldn't reach. So I'm really, really pleased I've done it. I'm glad I've done this watch party. Thanks to everyone who, especially you guys who watched it. That's really, really cool. But there's a lot coming up. Now, you may be wondering, well, you went to the Lapis conference, Ben. Where's the reportage? Well, the reportage, I haven't had time to do the reportage because all kinds of things happening in the world. You know, the James thing and the James thing. And then there was there was all the other things I talk about in the video where I went away to the hotel. And David said, yes, great documentary. It's slightly moved the Overton window, and that's what we want. Yeah, I think it's quite considerably moved it. Arts Channel, do we have disclosure? I think we're close, man. We're close. We're so close I can feel it. We're as close as we've ever been. Just watch this space, man. People get ready. It's coming, yeah. I mean, you need a lot of patience in this business, but it could happen at any time. It could happen at any time. DJB2 says, no, that's a week Tuesday. It's actually probably likely to happen. It's probably likely to happen on a Friday because that's when the stock markets are shut. That's what Bryce and Richard Dolan say in their book. The NPCs won't pay the £15. Well, I think the price is going to come down. That's the price it is now, but it will drop. These things often do. I think it will. And also, of course, I mean, I'm not going to recommend this or tell you how you can find it, but like all movies, you know, it has proliferated, shall we say. Right. So I want to say a big thank you to everyone who has posted here. And Snarnock, I'm sorry I couldn't see your comment, but I can't see I'm not sure. I can't only see that other comment, which I've already answered. But thanks to InsureTech. And we have David Splendid Isolation, DJ B2, 69 Phuket, Snarnock. And we have, who else? Contact Times, Hachi, and lots of other people here. If I leave anyone out, I'm very, very Skywatch Signal, Shauna, Spanish Chicken, Michael Snow, and the other apparently there's 23 people watching at the moment. That's a very Wilsonian number, very Discordian. But I think there's probably more than that. As you know, I believe that my viewing figures are deliberately constricted. Definitely. So thank you all of you for watching this video and taking part, and especially those of you who've watched all of this watch party. Really, really appreciate that. We shall play out now with the closing theme, and keep your eye on the channel because there'll be another video coming soon. I promise you I'll get the Lapis video uploaded before I go off to the Basis Project Conference. And of course there will be a Basis Project Conference reportage later. See you, DJ. See you, Phuket. Oh, Shauna. Yeah. Might buy if it comes down in day. It will come down in price. It will come down in price. But thank you, all of you. Cheers, 69 Phuket. Much appreciated. Night, David Splendid Isolation. Thanks for taking part. Thanks to everyone who took part. No nights. And for everyone else. It's like the Waltons, this, isn't it? Good night, Grandma. Good night, Grandpa. Good night, Jim Bob. Yeah. And then the lights go out. All right, guys. So thank you, all of you, for watching Panamo TV. Thank you for taking part in this watch party. Hospital Porters, pride and dignity. Stop the New World Order.
Conspiracies, government cover-ups, Earth mysteries, monster cryptids, Cype saucers, and black triangle, Papanwo. Black goo in Antarctica, lizard kings from the seventh star. Men in black and Queen Boudica, Papanwo. Black goo in Antarctica, Kepler's from the seventh star. Men in black and Queen Boudica, Papanwo. Welcome to the Papanwo Show. Once I was alone, I was petrified. thinking I could be abducted when the bins went out. And so I spent so many nights thinking about the gray that might be there. But I grew strong, and now I really couldn't care. Save me from the aliens. Save me from the government. Save me from the men in black who call. Save me from the skeptics. Save me from the watchers. Justice must be done for Richard D. Hall. No more psyop whitewashes. No more left in fear. How long till disclosure comes? Is it really getting near? Is it really getting near? Is it really getting near? Or are we always gonna wonder? Are we never gonna know? Is it just a way to control cells created oh so many years ago? Save me from the sheeple. Save me from the liars. Open up your eyes and see their false flag planned attacks. Save me from the grifters. Save me from the spiteful mutant hacks. Our fear is their power, our obedience the same. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Speak truth to power, always be the keeper of the flame.